Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex Day trade setups for today. So we're looking forward to some kind of action on Forex this week. It's been kind of hectic the last couple of weeks, and let's just start off with the EURUSD at the moment. And you can see we're still pretty much in this range, but one of the key elements here is that it looks like we are rejecting this. Let me get the area now. This 117.512 area. You can see pretty good rejection off there. Let me just zoom in, and you can see that pin bar there. Another little range bar is forming, and now we are busy with this fairly solid move to the downside. And look at the moving average. That's a second rejection of the moving average. So the other thing that we want to just pay attention to is this little bit of consolidation here, which was a wedge. We've had a break, kind of a retest. Hasn't really been a decent retest, but it has retested a breakout nevertheless. Okay, so we come down to the hour now. You'll see doesn't fill me with with a lot of confidence that we have got the rejection, but that rejection pin bar there is telling, and it's off a level. I'm just going to adjust that level to there. You can see there's underside there, rejection of it, and we're moving down. Look at how we fought over here along the moving average, and that's why this 33 EMA is so important as far as I'm concerned. It is respected time and time again. Okay, so we are sideways at the moment. I'd want to see us sort of possibly sort of break and come back and test this area here of 117.127. But at first glance, I think I want to hold this, stay out of this pretty much, and I'll tell you now why. You know, that trend line there was the one that was broken. So this trend line has been broken with that pin bar as well. So kind of a double-edged sword for me at the moment. It's good potential for it moving back to the downside if you look at it on the 2 hour as well. Very possible that we are going to get some downside, but I want to see a move and then a retest of a breakout. So at this stage, the breakout level is going to be 117.127, but I want to see a bit of a further move down and then a move up. Last thought on this pair, and let me just get rid of the noise. Ultimately, we are still, sorry, let's just do it this way. We are still in this range. Okay, we are forming lower highs here and lower lows. You can see there was a high, lower high, lower low, lower high, and now we need to come down and break this area here. Okay, anyway, keeping my money out of this one. This doesn't give me a solid setup at the moment. When we look at the US dollar Japanese yen, this is kind of a similar picture to EURUSD. So for once, it does look like we're possibly going to get dollar strength today, but that may change tomorrow, as it has happened all of last week. So at this stage, you can see we are testing the moving average. You can see we rejected. We've got this sort of new low here, okay, but looking at this pattern here, I've got an inside bar. This area here is an area that I'd be watching for a move to the upside, and that is 105.627. So I'd want to see a break above that retest for a move to the upside. At the moment, looking to the left, we are in the middle of strong resistance at the moment. Okay, now have a look at price action on the hour, and you can see a fairly strong level of support here at the moment. And I'm just picking it up from these inside tails here. The other thing that you can see is we have a cup and handle, or we have a flat top triangle. Okay, so this here does look like a setup to the upside. We are above the moving average on the hour. So I'd want to see us get above this little area of consolidation that we're in at the moment. So there, I want to see us get above here, come back, hold it, and then move back to the upside. Okay, so there's an opportunity for long here, but I think for me, I'm looking for 105,444 to break, come back, test it, and if that test holds, then I'd be looking for a move to the upside. Okay, pound USD. So this, of the dollar pairs, I think this is the one that I'm more interested in. There is a lot of noise around Brexit, and then that combined with the dollar strength that we've seen in the other two pairs, there's a good possibility that we want to be shorting this. Okay, so at the moment we are obviously stuck in this consolidation area right over there, and you can see tails the upside. Okay, it's an area that we are respecting at the moment. There's nothing in the price action right now on the 8 hour that indicates up or down right now. Okay, so for me, drop down to the 1 hour and then have a look. So we've gapped up, got a gap up this morning. I would just fine tune that level to there. There's my inside tails. If that rejection holds, we're looking for a move to the downside. Challenge that you've got at the moment is you've got a bit of a triangle, a flat top triangle forming as well on this pair. But I think this is going to be a fairly decent candidate for a London breakout strategy, and if it breaks the downside, it basically means you're going to hold it for a while. Okay, London breakdown strategy is basically the first 7 hours from when it opened. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 4 hours in. We've still got 3 hours to go. Okay, that will form your range, which at the moment look between these two levels here. And a break to the upside will give you the height to the range. A break to the downside will give you the height to the range. But I think a break to the downside is going to give you more than the height to the range. Okay, and again, you can see how this 33 EMA is playing a major role in support at the moment. Okay, so this is kind of in no man's land at the moment, but just looking at the setups in the previous two pairs on the dollar, we're looking for dollar strength there. So dollar strength means pound weakness, and pound weakness means down. Okay, so that's kind of a fairly decent setup of all $3 pairs that I've looked at so far. Pound USD looks like we need to be waiting for the setup for the short. Okay, New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. We've had a bit of we've had election results over the weekend, and a bit of noise there, but nothing really that's interesting me at the moment. I think if you look at the 8 hour, that is a break and retest of a trend line. So I would expect more downside here for the New Zealand dollar. But if you look at the hour, we've got a different picture. So looking at the hour, you've got a double bottom in play actually. There it is there. So I'd expect a gap close, see if the gap can close, if it can hold. If we can hold support here, we've got a inside tail here. It's the neckline of a double bottom, and we've also got the moving average. So that would be a fairly decent opportunity for me. There's our double bottom, and I would expect us just short of the double bottom, pick up these tails here. That would be my target to the upside. Okay, which would also be the bottom of the trend line. Yeah, so what are we looking for? We're looking for a pullback back into 69.65. Then we're looking for some bullish price action there, like it's a pin bar or an inside bar or something like that. And then we're looking for price to move up back into this area of 70.016. Okay, so that looks like a fairly decent opportunity as well. Just a short scalp, a long scalp, sorry. Nothing long term. British pound, Japanese yen. Stay far away from this. Just look at what this looks like. I mean, let's just zoom out. We've been traveling up, we've moved down, we're below the moving average. But if you just look at the price action, look at all these tails. Tails to upside, tails to downside, always an indication of indecision. Also looking like barbed wire. So barbed wire is an indication of indecision. And looking at that on the hour, that is also indecision. I think for me, staying a little bit away from this at the moment. No real direction just yet on that pair. Although with the noise happening around Brexit at the moment, you would expect this thing should be setting up for a short somewhere along the line. Okay, so we just have to wait and see what what our fellow investors and the institutions have a feeling for today. But if I just read what's going on the weekend around Brexit, I think you're going to have a bit of a fall on the pound anyway. Okay, Aussie dollar, US dollar. This is a pretty good setup as well, very similar to the pound US dollar. You can see we had the fall on going into the close on Friday, and at the looks of things at the moment, we are just hovering here. Let's put this level in. Okay, there's two levels here at the moment. Okay, so it's this tail to the downside, this tail to the upside. So this tail to the downside forms a much bigger double top. Okay, so that's kind of one, or call it a triple top. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got a triple top here. We've broken through the neckline here. We're busy testing it at the moment. Okay, so a lot of things hinge on this now. The reality about this, if this holds, is you have 1,490 point move to the downside. So come to the 1 hour, and you'll see strong moves to the downside. This is looking like consolidation. Me personally, I would prefer to be short off this area here, and then it doesn't really look like there's much happening here, does it? But there is a downward trend line, so anything in this area here would be a fairly decent short for me from up there. The alternative to this is going to be a break below this area of support here at 0.7739, come back and retest it, and then short again. But this does look like a decent short brewing as well. Okay, British pound, Aussie dollar. I think this one's going to be a interesting one, because if you look at what we've looked at already, the pound looks like it's going to get hurt with a few currencies, and then against the Aussie dollar against the US dollar, definitely doesn't look very strong there. So now we've got two weak pairs, or two weak currencies against each other here. So look to the left, this here just tells me to stay away. Okay, you can see we're in this area. It's a range. We broke below it, tested it, now we're back in it. So for me, this pair is just stay far away from, don't even bother with it. And if you look at that, you can see all of this congestion right around the moving average. I don't think there's much of an opportunity here. I'd rather trade where I've got a strong currency and a weak currency in the pair. So definitely dollar or pound. So dollar against euro, or dollar against yen, dollar against Aussie dollar, or the British pound against the dollar or the pound. Okay, you probably find that the British pound against the euro would also be a fairly decent one to look at as well for shorts. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me on Forex. Hope it helps you somewhat today. Let's hope we can get some movements going on the Forex markets this week, and start making some money again. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.